and welcome to Ryan's Recipes. Now, what we're going to learn today is that I have no idea how to make puddings. I live on savoury food. I never make sweet things. The only one thing I make is my friend's birthday cake once a year, which isn't really how you'd normally make a normal cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a selection of dessert-like ingredients and quite simply ram them all together and make dessert, I think. So in terms of dessert-like things, we have chocolate, some milk, some white, we've got some digestives, love maple syrup, some sugar and some butter. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm thinking maybe a biscuit base and then try and ram all the other things together to make some sort of weird cookie dough-like type mixture, put it on top and introduce it to the oven. So let's see how we get on. First things first, I'm going to start with a biscuit base, and that involves crushing digestives, which there's a whole variety of ways of doing this. So I've got a hammer, and I'm quite simply just going to start just crushing them while we're in the packet. The packet can hold all the crumbs. I'm just going to gently turn it. And work my way along. Good. Okay, so the biscuits are well hammered. Kind of just split the packet a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce my tray. Let's have a look, see how well we're getting on so far. So, how well is my biscuit dust? You know what? That's not too bad actually. I'd say that's quite well hammered. So what I'm going to do now is just rinse my digits. Let's try one of these butters. It's a bit hard. Might have to try and soften it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of butter and I'm just going to rub it in to my crumbs. And all the big bits, I'll just crush them with my hands as I go. Just grab a knife. Yeah, steak knife will do. So, go pinch the butter. Warm up a bit, break it up. Now, what I'm basing this recipe for doing the base on is it Greg Wallace who had the saying a buttery biscuit base, and then it became a YouTube sensation? I'm gonna go with that. There must have been some logic behind it, so I'm sure you must add butter to biscuits to make a buttery biscuit base. Seems to work to me. Right. I'm going to sit and crush and knead all these in. I'll let you skip ahead a little bit, because I'm sure there's better things to watch than me fingering some biscuits. Okay, so what I've done is I've crushed up the biscuits quite nicely. However, I've decided that it's a bit tedious rubbing all the butter in. So, I've chopped up some butter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the microwave and just try and melt it a bit. Then I'll try pouring it on. There we go. There's my microwave butter. So let's just try pouring it on. That can seep in and I can get my buttery biscuit base. Now, I get the sense... Well, that's not too bad actually. I was going to say, I get the sense it's going to be quite warm. But no, it's safe. So let's try mixing it a little bit now while it's melted. Might need a little bit more. Yeah, biscuit is quite absorbent. But that's going in the right sort of direction. Right, I'm going to try it in a little bit more butter. So just added a bit more butter. And as a mix, that's now found it seeming a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread it out evenly. And then I'm going to slowly press it down and compact it into the tin. So let's just spread it out. Need a little kitchen rake. Okay, so I'm just going to gently start in the middle, just push my way out. I'll get a nice solid biscuit base. It's blatantly how Mr. Kipling does it. Perfect. Now let's make something that can go on top. So for this top bit, what I'm going to do is I'm just thinking this through. I've got some chocolate, I've got some butter. So I'm going to put it all into my Pyrex jug. I'm going to put it in the microwave for a couple minutes, melt it all down so we get a nice buttery chocolate mix. And we're going to mix it in with some sugar. I might put a bit of flour or something in there as well to get a bit more structure. And then we'll see how that sort of layers on top. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to take dairy milk. Call it a dairy milk. It's not a dairy milk, is it? It's a cheap one. But still. So just give it a fighting chance. Going to break it all up. Nice and simple. So we put one chocolate one in, one white chocolate one in. Now I'm hoping this should work. If it doesn't, then well, we're kind of screwed. So let's put a bit of butter in. Bit more. Bit more butter. A little more again. Let's use my last chocolate. Oh, I'm struggling with this one. Literally got butterfingers. Right. Bit from there. So I'm going to chuck another little bit of butter on top. Like so. And we'll give it about 90 seconds, see how it looks. There's about 90 seconds in there so far. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go a quick stir. Ooh. That's not too bad actually. It's a bit soft, but I can deal with that. That's better. As the chocolate's finally melting, that's really thickening up quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'll chuck it in for another 30 seconds. Give that chocolate a bit more of a blast, and that should be quite a nice consistency. So that's had another 30 seconds in there. If I give it a bit of a mix, that is... You can see that quite well. That's coming on quite well actually. But I'm just concerned that's not quite enough to realistically do what I want and fill that tray up. So one thing I'm toying with is I might add some porridge oats. Because porridge is meant to be good for you. So far this is biblically unhealthy. So I think I might add some porridge oats. Got some golden syrup flavoured ones. I'll put them into this mix here. They can microwave themselves. So this will get like a nice sort of stodgier sort of mix. And then that should sit on top of the biscuit base really, really well. So, yeah, let's give that a go. Okay, so I've got my little pack of porridge oats. It says it's oh so easy. Let's see if we trust it. So I'm going to chuck these in like so. And to give it a fighting chance as well, I'm going to put a little splash of milk in. only a little bit, because I'm sure these weren't designed to be cooked in chocolate. So let's stir them in like so. Now the packet normally says these take about 2.5 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck them in for about 90 seconds, see how they look, and then we'll go from there. They look mixed in well. Let's see what happens. That's how our mixture looks after about 90 seconds in the microwave. If we stir, still quite fluid. You can see the little oats in there. They're not quite done what I was expecting them to do. I think if anything, what's happened is the milk has frothed up. So let's give it another minute and see how we look. The conclusion that it didn't need the extra minute. Yeah. Hopefully that was nothing a little bit of fairy liquid couldn't solve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another pack of oats, because it still feels a bit loose. And then I'm going to pour the mixture on, put some foil over it, and then introduce it to the oven for about 15 minutes at 150 degrees and see how that comes out. And then I think we should be in quite a good place. So they're mixed in quite nicely. So let's try and evenly pour this out. That's quite a bit. Okay. So just spread that out into the corners. Gives them a good covering. I think we're quite even. And we're checking. Yeah. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just get some foil out and cover it up. I'll put it in the oven. We'll get it nuclear hot. And then I'll chuck it in the fridge quite quickly. And hopefully that should set. That should give us a nice sort of chewy, chocolatey top. Right. Time for the mixture fresh from the oven. It is piping hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put it in the fridge and let it cool down for 5-10 minutes, and hopefully it should set. And there you have it. There is our chocolatey dessert creation. Now I need to think of a name for this still, which will be tagged on the YouTube video. I've just taken it out of the fridge, been in for about 45 minutes, and what's happened is the base has gone quite thick and gooey. I've just pinched the corner out of it, and do you know what? I'm actually quite impressed. Considering it wasn't the most structured of recipes, is the best way of putting it. So I'm going to put it back in the fridge so it can chill a little bit more. I'm going to start editing these videos, and I will see you next time.